Hey, y'all, it's your friendly neighborhood therapist. So today I was reminded of something that makes for great content as far as relationships goes. And that's any relationship because if you've been with me long enough, you know that I do not consider romantic relationships the pinnacle of relationships. You have familiar relationships, you have friendships, you have work relationships. All relationships are important, right? And honestly, I believe that sisterhood and brotherhood and friendship are probably more important than romantic relationships. But either way, something to consider. And this came up during one of my sessions with a client of mine. And when she said this is the one thing she requires in a relationship that she does not hear people talk about, it was interesting because I immediately said, you know what's funny? You don't really hear people talk about it, but I do talk about it in couples therapy. Anyway, when someone asks you what makes a relationship work, any relationship, what's one of the first things you probably say? Communication, right? Communication, absolutely. You have to know how to communicate. You have to understand that people have different communication styles, and you have to communicate in a way where you are understood and where you understand the other person, right? A part of communication is active listening. You have to be able to listen to people. You have to be able to clarify your points. All those things are very important, right? And another thing people might say, what's important in relationships? Conflict management. You got to know how to fight. You got to know how to disagree. There are ways to do so. Everybody does have different conflict styles. You have to want to learn that about someone in order to know how to have a healthy disagreement. But those are not the two most important C's when it comes to healthy relationships. The most important C that does not get talked about that this client said is crucial for her is consideration. Do you consider me in your actions, in your words? Do you consider me? That is probably the most important thing to any relationship, whether it be parent child, whether it be siblings, friends, coworkers, and romantic relationships, marriage, boyfriend, girlfriend, 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 boyfriend, boyfriend, whatever, right? Consideration. Consideration is empathy in action. Consideration means before I said these words or before I did this thing, I actually thought about how that might affect you. A lot of times we do not feel like people consider us. In all of your current relationships, romantic, friends, familial, whatever, do you feel like the people in your life actually consider you when they are talking to you or when there is a decision to be made that involves you? Do you feel like they actually think about how it will impact you? And another thing that I often say is impact is always greater than intent. No matter what you intend, the impact matters more. You can intend the best of things, and you can still impact someone and harm them. So you have to acknowledge that fact, right? Consideration is one of those things, if it is missing, people start to feel unseen, unheard, unloved. It doesn't matter what else you do. If you don't make someone feel like they have been considered, they are not going to feel like you actually care and love them. And even more important is that you consider yourself. A lot of times you get people in relationships, especially if they are people pleasers, who are very selfless. They consider everyone else and don't consider themselves. That's harmful as well. It's harmful to be the opposite and be selfish. You only consider yourself and never consider how anyone else feels, what anyone else is going to think. I know we live in this world where we say, do you, don't worry what other people think and feel and all of that stuff. That's fine when you're not in relationship with the people. Like, that's fine when you don't know them people. That doesn't work when you claim to love and care about somebody and you are in direct relationship with them. Now, another thing that I found, and this is just a personal opinion of mine, is that a lot of times people who are overthinkers are the most considerate people, and that's because they overthink. They think through all possible scenarios, all possible outcomes first. So they definitely think, how will this affect this person? What could possibly happen? And they tend to be more considerate because of it. But being an overthinker can also be a problem because it can cause you to stagnate. You think so much that you don't actually do. You think and think and think, and no action occurs. So that can be a problem. But the silver lining, if anything, to being an overthinker is that you are considerate. Y'all let me know what y'all think. In your relationships, do you feel like people consider you? Do you consider other people? Do you ever wonder when someone does something that you are in relationship with, did they even think about how that would affect me? Did they think about how that would make me feel? These are very important questions for all the relationships in your life. Who considers you? That is who loves you. That is who you are in healthy relationship with. That is how certain relationships last as long as they do because people are being considered and they are considering others. So, what y'all think? Do you believe that consideration is the biggest factor when it comes to a healthy relationship? Y'all let me know. All right, y'all have a beautiful, wonderful rest of y'all day, and I will holler at y'all later.